Welcome. You're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another chapter reading from the Fall of America. You know, we're on chapter 11. The title of chapter 11 is Opposers of Truth. You got what I'm saying? Did you check the last reading of chapter 11? It was deep, you know what I mean? It shared some light, you know, and let me say this again to you, you know what I mean? This book is written by the minister Elijah Muhammad, you know what I mean? I pointed out some things, you know, that really shows some contradiction, that really backs up a lot of things Malcolm X has said about the minister Elijah Muhammad, you know what I mean? You know, they call him a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Everything he stood on as far as what he taught to the public, you know, yeah, he taught some righteous stuff to the public, but in the background behind closed doors, that man was doing something else. You got what I'm saying? And I say this to you, you know what I mean? There's many sides of each religion, each spirituality you're in. And one of the things that Malcolm X could not bear with is the fact that, you know, he was first sexing young women and he was a married man. Two, he was having babies outside of his marriage, you know what I mean? And I just say this to you now, you know, if you ever look at, if you're really looking at society of today, what is it called, polygamy? You know what I mean? It's a lot of it going on under what my spirituality is. Not against it. You feel what I'm saying? Not against it. Not gonna ever say that it's wrong. Not gonna ever say that it's right. As American citizens, we have the right, you know what I mean, to have as many women as we want. We may not be able to legally marry, you understand what I'm saying? Marry these women, but under who we pray to is a marriage. You feel what I'm saying? These women can have as many men as they want. These men can have as many women as they want. To each their own, to how they go. You feel what I'm saying? But that was a thing that Malcolm X didn't agree with. You got what I'm saying? Saw the man as a hypocrite. Later on, they banished him. You know what I mean? They shut him up for a while. He got out of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, and he started doing his own thing. You got what I'm saying? He stayed in Islam, but he started doing his own thing, teaching his own message into the streets. And you know, honestly, he never talked bad against the minister. You feel what I'm saying? But with the decisions he made, you know what I mean, led up to his assassination. I'm not gonna say, you know, he was naturally, you know, he naturally passed away. You know, they came in the mosque and straight up killed this man. You know what I mean? For the way he believed life should be, for the way he wanted to present himself as a Muslim. You know what I mean? And from what I see and from what I've learned and from what I've read, you know what I mean? That's probably the best example you could ever receive. You feel what I'm saying? The best example you will ever receive. And like I said before, you know what I mean? Me educating myself about Malcolm X taught me something about when you are supposed to put that cloth around your neck and speak of religion, of spirituality, when you are supposed to take, you know, whom you pray to as your savior, you know what I mean, as your, you know, foundation of life. And you know, he was a drug dealer, he was a drug user, he was a pimp, he was all these things that still exist in our world today. But once he, you know, went to prison, got off the drugs, started seeking knowledge of Islam, was around some good brothers that really fed him the knowledge he needs to come out into this world and be a successful servant of Allah. You feel what I'm saying? So I say this to you again. You can play with Allah. You can play with Buddha. You can play with Jesus. You can play with the demiurge. Do your thing. You feel what I'm saying? Go and do your thing. I know what I'm not going to do. Anyway, once again, I say you're with the nasty pastor, and this is another reading, another chapter reading from the Fall of America. We're on chapter 11, and this is part 2 of this reading. So let's dive into this, and let's really get some understanding out of this, get some peace out of this. Let's figure exactly where we're at in America, how we can change some wrongs in America. And the wrongs start with the man in the mirror, the person in the mirror. So don't go out there and look at Billy Bob, Joey Sue, and Opie Taylor telling them that something wrong with them and you haven't fixed your table. That was one of the things I never complained about in the relationships I was with when I was in these relationships with these women, because sometimes my table won't right. So there was nothing I could say. When they was out cheating and doing their thing, I just sat there and said, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. You feel what I'm saying? So fix yourself first. Start with you first. You feel what I'm saying? Stop opposing the spread of Islam. Peace among us. Let us go back to our God Allah and our religion of Islam. Peace. Since you would not give us the so-called Negroes equal justice and do not want social mixing with your free slaves because of degrading and lowering your own status in the eyes of the world, help us to go for ourselves either out or in your country. You get that part right there? They don't want you to have social mixture with the other opposers. You feel what I'm saying? Is that not going on today? Really look at how things are going on today. It's not with a whip. It's not physical control. You see what I'm saying? It's more financial control. It's more character assassination control. You feel what I'm saying? Whether by lies or whether by truth. So look at how things have changed, where they're not gonna, put a whip on you. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't gonna beat you with a whip. There's other things they do to you to oppress you so that you're not able to mix socially with other people. For 400 years, we have served you with our labor, sweat, and blood. The lash of your whip, your killings, lynching, and burning of our innocent black flesh without even a hearing in a court of justice, nor even our murderers being punished. Although we are marched before your enemies, and there we pour out our lives for the freedom of your lives, children and your country, we return home to meet an even worse enemy. We are hated and kicked out in certain places like an unwanted dog who has caught the game but was not given a taste of it, only that which the hunter could not and should not eat himself. The dog, being too ignorant to recognize the injustice done to him by his master, would jump to his feet again at the call of his master to offer his life for his master's life. This we have and still are doing for you. We are not wanted in your better neighborhoods. In many places we have to be guarded and protected by your armed forces in order to live in a house which one of your kind has sold to us. Yet we are the most peaceful and humblest of the population. We are taxed equally and perhaps more than those of our own kind. We are the real citizens and owners of this country. America, though our labor and the labor of our fathers made and built it for you, think it over. Millions of us working, fighting, and dying at your hand, and others for 400 years without a home which we can call our own. Not being allowed to worship our God, religion, nor have unity amongst self and our kind without being charged with the worst of crimes. Subversiveness, sedition, treason, and seeking to overthrow the government by force, though we have no arms to do such, just to have an excuse for your persecuting and seeking to kill the same poor 400-year-old slave. Now, did you get that? Did you get that? I hear some militant stuff in there. I hear why they're disarming the black community. I um I hear that we built this country. I did. I do agree with that because I wrote posts about that. You know what I mean? I've told you. You know what I mean? This is our land. This is what we built, and the reason we have nothing is due to what? Drug addiction. You know what I mean? This was a different time that the minister Elijah Muhammad wrote this. You feel what I'm saying? When he was a kid, y'all age, you know what I mean? 10, 15 years old, yeah, lynching, burning, blah, bam, you know what I mean? It was like that in America, you know what I mean? It was running rampant in America. You know, there was a time they could do anything to a black man and not have to stand up in a courtroom and find and defend themselves why that had happened. You see what I'm saying? You get it? So laws have been put in place. There are foundations, there are groups, there are lawyers that are put in place to fight those things in America. So when I say Malcolm X is a fave, when I say Martin Luther King is a fave, when I say Angela Mayerlu is a fave, when I say, you know, the freedom fighters, those are faves of mine. You got what I'm saying? Because they fought, they gave their life for our civil rights so that we could be free in a country we built. You feel what I'm saying? We built. But today, when you think about yourself today, you did not have to fight for anything. You feel you get what I'm saying? Nothing. You have fought for nothing. You at a point in your life, you're scared to even speak up for the injustice that goes on in your community, in your household, in your family. You're too scared to speak up because you're dependent on others. You feel what I'm saying? You speak up, you might lose your financial situation. You speak up, you may not get no food on your table that your mother, your grandma, or someone around the corner is helping you with, and you're being treated unfairly. That's why I say get up, start something, get something going in your life where that you can take care of yourself. You feel what I'm saying? To not be able to have resources to receive food stamps. You feel what I'm saying? And that is that is an African American, a black program that was started in the black neighborhood. You feel what I'm saying? In the black community, where that the government picked it up and served it to the whole nation of America. You feel what I'm saying? But we sit here, we sell drugs. Boom, you can't get it. Out of every felony you could commit, the felony of all is being a drug dealer. If you have been caught with drugs, I don't care if it's distribution or it's possession. After 1996, you cannot apply for food stamps. You cannot apply for a lot of assistance because of selling drugs or using drugs. So that is a way to starve the black community. That is a way to take the black man and reduce the black man to nothing, not being able to provide for their child. You feel what I'm saying? For their child. Is it wrong? Yes, indeed. Will it ever be changed? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. You feel what I'm saying? I really do not know will it ever be changed because of the drug history in America. You feel me? You get me? So to say that the government is taking something from you, no, they're not taking nothing from you. They have put a trap in place for you to do one or two things. Think about what you're doing in these streets and think about the consequences. So is drugs really worth selling, period? Is drugs worth even doing? I would say no. No. I feel good to be able to walk if I need in any building of assistance and be able to get it. You feel what I'm saying? It feels good because I can take the option of selling drugs off the table. I can take the option of running in your house, stealing or robbing you off the table. You feel what I'm saying? I say this to you, and it's real talk, you know what I mean? If I knew about donating plasma back in the 80s when I lost my job at Rich Food Warehouse, and I was still under my mom's roof, you got what I'm saying? I was number 17 years old. I was still, you know what I mean, an adolescent. You know what I mean? I wasn't an adult yet. You know what I mean? My mom's supposed to take care of me till I'm 18. You feel what I'm saying? I would have never went in the streets and chased that paycheck I was getting from Rich Food Warehouse. I would have went on down to the little place. I think that they say it was on Clay or Curry Street, somewhere downtown first. You know what I mean? Back in the 80s, I would have went there and got that little bit of money to fend me over until I figured out where another job at. You feel? You get what I'm saying? I don't know why my first thought was to go sell drugs. I don't know why. When I lost the job, let me see. When I lost the job at Wendy's, somehow I ended up finding out that Rich Food Warehouse hiring, and I went to Rich Food Warehouse. You see what I'm saying? When I lost the job at Rich Food Warehouse, I was laid off. When I lost the job at Rich Food Warehouse, I don't know why I didn't go look for another job somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So it's not that I didn't know it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know why I didn't put actions behind going to find another job. I took the easy way out, and the easy way took me down a road that I don't never want to repeat. Never want to repeat it. So look, I say this to you again, you know what I mean? Get up. Please get up. Please get up. Start something. You feel what I'm saying? Start moving around, getting your face in the public, getting you some fresh air, figuring out where would you like to work at, figuring out will these people understand me if you're a mental disabled person, will this be the best job for me, will this be the best career for me? If not, figure something at home. You got what I'm saying? Figure something at home, for real. I've sat down and thought about, do you really want to work at home? And the reason I really don't want to work at home because I want to be out in the public. You understand me? I want to be in the public. I know I can behave myself in the public. I know how to go on a person's job, go there because my means is to receive a paycheck, to do as they ask. You feel what I'm saying? Do as they ask. When I punch that clock to go home and not to sit in their parking lot. You feel me? Anywho, anyway, you've been with the Nasty Pastor, and like I said, this has been a chapter 11 reading that we have just wrapped up, and the title was Opposers Truth. You got what I'm saying? So understand this, you know what I mean? We have came a long way as Black African Americans. We have came a long way in the Black community. Let's not destroy the progress we have made. I'm out, and I love you.